Hi, my name is Muskan Salim Siddiqui, and I'm the team leader for this presentation on the Gordie Howe International Bridge project. Today, our team will walk you through this major infrastructure project connecting the Windsor and Detroit across the Detroit River. This bridge represents one of the largest cross-border infrastructure built in North America, linking the busiest commercial trade corridor between the United States and Canada. Our team of four studied the case using the project management body of knowledge framework to evaluate how the Windsor Detroit Bridge Authority and its private partner Bridging North America approached planning, execution, and long-term success across nearly a decade of construction. Throughout the presentation, we will address the project objective, scope, budget, stakeholders, risk, communication approach, and finally, our conclusion on whether the project succeeded. Each of us will present two connected sections so the flow feels natural and easy. We hope this gives you a clear picture of how strong project management practices help guide a project of this scale toward the completion despite significant challenges along the way. And we appreciate you joining us today. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Joyce and I will be present the initiating and planning phase of this project across the next two slides. The overall objective of the Gordie Howe International Bridge project was to build a 6-lane international bridge spanning about 1.5 miles, connecting the busiest commercial land border crossing between the United States and Canada. The project's scope included the bridge itself, two ports of entry, toll collection facilities, and improvements to the Michigan Interexchange along Interstate 75, all of which required careful coordination between two national governments. Several success factors guided the project team, including predictive scheduling analysis, scenario modeling to identify near-critical activities, and a strong governance framework that supported coordination across many government and private partners throughout construction. In terms of budget, the project was originally valued at 5.7 billion Canadian dollars, and this amount was later revised to $6.4 billion after schedule-related contracted changes. The milestone timeline shown on this slide highlights key dates from construction start in 2018 through the bridge finally opening to vehicle traffic in July of 2026, marking the end of a long journey. Moving to the second part of the initiating and planning phase, this slide focuses on key stakeholders and the risks identified early in the project. The main stakeholders include the Windsor Detroit Bridge Authority, which oversees delivery of the project, and Bridging North America, the private partner responsible for design, construction, financing, and long-term operation of the completed crossing. The Government of Canada and the State of Michigan were also central stakeholders, since Canada agreed to fund Michigan's portion of the project and recover those costs later through tolls collected once the bridge opened. Local communities near the project site, along with unions, First Nations groups, and small business, were equally important stakeholders because construction directly affects their neighborhoods and offered new job opportunities over several years. When it comes to initial risks, the team anticipated challenges tied to managing two federal governments at once, financing arrangements between countries, extensive environmental approval requirements covering more than 400 conditions, and possible community concerns about construction disruption near residential areas. Understanding these risks early allowed the project team to build mitigation strategies into their planning from the very beginning, which proved valuable once construction actually began and challenges emerged.
Hello everyone, my name is Sadullah Said. I am responsible for the quality control on our team. I will be presenting both slides covering execution, monitoring and controlling for this project. This slide focuses especially on risk management during construction, which become increasingly important and as unexpected events unfolded over time. As the project moved from the planning into execution, several risks that were identified earlier actually occurred and required active management from the entire project team. The COVID-19 pandemic caused major disruption and pushed the schedule back for the several years, forcing the team to resequence construction activities while following the strict health and safety guidelines. Cost also increased significantly, with the total contract value rising from 5.7 billion to 6.4 billion Canadian dollars. Due to this extended timelines, testing delays at the ports at the entry pushed the opening date further in 2026, while political tensions between United States and Canada briefly threatened the opening in early 2026, as well as environmental and community concerns remain ongoing risks through the construction, which team addressed through more than 400 mitigation condition and dedicated community benefits plan. The risk registered on his slides highlights the 5 most significant risks along the how project team responded to each other through the process. The next slide is I am going to talk about communication strategy in education. This slide highlights how the project team communicated with the stakeholder throughout the education, which was essential given the project scale and complexity and beneficial project, because the community unions, many other groups, communication needed to be structured, consistent and transparent at every stage. The Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority published a newsletter called Momentum every quarter to keep residents and partners informed about the construction progress in the upcoming milestones. During the community benefits planning process, the team held more than 70 public meetings and engaged over 1,000 stakeholders to gather feedback and build lasting trust. Formal press releases were also used to announce major milestones and schedule challenges, in which help maintain transparency, in which media outlets and government officials on the both sides of the border. Internally, the project team also submitted monthly progress report to the government and partners in the Canada and Michigan, allowing ongoing review of the schedule and risk-related events table on the side of the submitted reference. This consistent and multi-channel communication approach helped with the project maintain strong relationship with the stakeholders, even with the schedule shifted multi times over the course of construction.
Hello everyone, my name is Madhushalini Vanam and I'm the presentation and graphic leads for our team. I'll be presenting the final 2 slides, starting with our team's evaluation of whether this project was ultimately successful. Looking at the classic project management measures of scope, schedule and cost, this project shows a mixed but overall positive outcome when we examine it closely. In terms of scope and quality, the team delivered the full 6-lane bridge, both ports of entry and all planned interchange improvements without reducing the original scope in any meaningful way. However, the schedule slipped significantly, moving from an original target around 2020 to an actual opening date of July 27, 2026, largely due to the pandemic and extended testing requirements. Costs also grew from 5.7 billion to 6.4 billion Canadian dollars, reflecting the extended timeline and additional testing phases. Despite these setbacks, the project received recognition for its environmental and social governance performance and successfully delivered meaningful community benefits, including jobs, training, and local infrastructure investment. Based on these outcomes, our team concludes that this project was ultimately successful when judged by long-term value, quality, and stakeholder impact rather than by original schedule alone. References. This final slide presents our references formatted according to APS 7th edition guidelines as required for this assignment. Our research combined the original case study material with additional source including government press releases, encyclopedia entries, recent new coverage, and our course textbook by Larson and Gray. We made sure to use recent and credible sources to support the analysis throughout our presentation, especially since several major events occurred after the original case study was written, including the bridge's actual opening in summer of 2026. On behalf of our entire team, thank you for watching our presentation on the Gordie Howe International Bridge Project and for your attention throughout. We hope this case study helped illustrate how strong project management practices, including clear planning, active risk management, and consistent communication, can guide a large and complex project towards success even when facing significant delays and rising costs. We would now like to open the floor for any questions you may have about our analysis or project itself. Thank you.